What is up, everybody? It is Matt with Mikey Designs. We have a tutorial on how to do a grayscale image on black t-shirts that requires 3 colors coming up. Welcome back, everyone. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share our videos, and check out some of our other videos. We're going to show you how to do essentially a separation. It's simulated process using Separation Studio. We're going to use a combination of Separation Studio and Photoshop and Illustrator as well. And let me show you guys what we got going on here. Okay, so here is our artwork. This is one of our clients, the Wild Collection. Y'all should check them out. They're really cool if you're into oddities. And so here's the artwork that the client has provided. And the reason we're going to do this in essentially 3 colors, we're going to do a white base, a gray, and then another white. And I'll show you why. You can see all these kind of grayscale transitions. If you try doing that with one screen, could make it work, but doing it with 3 separate colors is going to make it look that much better, especially these areas here. So let me show you how I go about doing that. First things first, I know I want this about 14 inches high. Our maximum print size is 12 by 15, but let's see what size this ends up coming out to. We'll change this to, and I just went to image size. I did Command Option I. You can go here to image and then image size. And I'm going to change this over to inches. So it's pretty high resolution, 300 dpi, 6 by 8, almost 9 inches. So I'm going to resize this thing. I'm going to remove the resample selection here. So basically we're going to keep the resolution to whatever it ends up being. Let's make this 14 inches tall, so that almost gives me almost 10 inches wide, which is pretty good. It'll be about this wide on the shirt. So let's give that a try. 189 resolution, not too bad, could be better, but I think this will work just fine. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my levels. I'm going to hit Command L, or you can go to Image Adjustments and then Levels right here. I'm going to take my black selector, select my black, and what that does, it makes it a true 100% black. And then I'm going to grab this little white selector here, and that's going to make sure whatever is supposed to be white is a 100% white. We're going to hit OK. We're pretty much all set as far as the preparation goes using Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and save this out. And we just want to, we want to make sure it's in RGB. It's in RGB. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as a TIFF into the clients folder. I'm going to hit OK. Now that we have saved our image out of Photoshop, we are now in Separation Studio. And guys, if at any point, if I lose you, feel free to leave a comment, or even if you just want to say hello, leave a comment. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to open this up in Separation Studio. Just hit Command O to learn your quick keys, or just opening things up makes things a lot faster. And I just launched this program. I don't have the fastest computer, so bear with me for a moment. Okay, here is our file. We're going to go ahead and open that. And now, while we are in Separation Studio, we just want to make sure that our t-shirt color is black. This is what I'm talking about, and you also have to make some fine adjustments to really get this to work well. So all these colors you see here, red, blue, gold, purple, green, turquoise, we are not going to use any of that because you can see there's no information there whatsoever as I click on them. Click on the underbase, you see your underbase. You click on your gray, you can see how much gray is here. And then last but not least, our white top. So what I'm going to do is just go through each one of these channels and delete them. And one of the cool things about this program is you can right click, view as film, and that's essentially how it will print out on your film positive. So I'm going to go here and once again click through these and see that there is nothing there. So I'm going to go through here and delete each one of these channels that I do not need. Okay, now that we have each one of these channels deleted, we're going to kind of fine tune this a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just hitting Command plus to zoom in. And we're going to take a look at each one of these channels to see if there's any kind of adjustment that we can make. You'll see there is the color values over here. And generally, if I'm wanting this to be a bright white, I want this underbase here to read 100%. So what I'm going to have to do is adjust that by 17%. So I'm going to go to the underbase, right click on it, and then adjust channel. And I'm going to add, we can do 17%, but really the 95 to 100% range tends to fall off anyways. So let's bump it up by 12, maybe even 13, and then hit OK and see what we get now. Now let's scroll over this. It looks like we have about 93, 94. I'm gonna hit Command Z. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna go back and bump it up just a little more. Let's try 15. See that where that gets us. I mean, sometimes even though you're adjusting it by that 15%, it doesn't always equate to it reading what it's going to say here. So you kind of have to do it in moves and see what happens, because I'm not trying to boost the underbase too much. Okay, looks like we got about 97, 98%. Not going to be able to hold those 2 and 3% dots. Not with my setup. I have a multi-point exposure unit, so those things will just end up really just disappearing because the light source is making its way around those dots, so they're going to disappear. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and change this to view as ink. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to scroll over the top of this guy. You can see that there's about a 1% gray here. We don't want that. And then our white top is reading 96%. We actually do want that to be 100%. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to adjust this channel by about 4 or 5. Hit OK. Okay, now we got 100% white on the top. So that way when we do go to print, we're printing 100% on top of 100%, giving us a nice bright print. We're going to use 230 mesh screens and output this at 45 DPI. Now let me go back to my gray, take a look, see what we got going on here. Because the image was somewhat low res, you're kind of getting this little bit of this feather around the edge. Let me just go ahead and select some of these hard areas. And I'm just using this selection tool here. Almost like you would do in Photoshop. I'm going to hold Shift, select some more of these areas that do not need that gray in there. I'm going to grab this as well. I'm going to come over here and just keep on grabbing the rest of it. Okay, now that I have every single part selected where I kind of want to, excuse me, remove some of the gray out of it, I'm going to go to Migrate Channel and I'm going to right click on it, select Adjust Channel, and I'm just going to pull back the low saturation fader here until it's gone. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Hit Command D to deselect it, go back to our overview, and now that looks pretty nice. I think we are ready to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and save this and print out some film, so stick around. When you save this file, it's going to save it as an EPS. I'll show you what's going to happen whenever you bring it into Illustrator. Okay, our file is saved. I have my t-shirt registration template open and ready to go. I'm on my art layer, and if you need help with the t-shirt registration template, go over to our website. I'll include a link in the description where you can get that for $5. That's right, it's $5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the art we just separated onto our artboard. I'm going to do that by hitting Command Shift P, or you can just go to File and Place. I like to use my quick commands. As always, you should learn your quick commands, your quick keys. Helps get the job done a lot quicker. So here is our EPS file. I'm going to hit place. And what it's doing right now is it's bringing in all that information. I'm going to place this on the artboard real quick. And then I'm going to go to my Align palette. Make sure it's aligned to artboard. And there we have it. It's all nice. Center aligned on the artboard. We have our center marks. You'll see here that we do have a white underbase, a gray, and then a white top. You'll see that it has a number 1, 2, and 3. We're going to print it in that order. So we're going to print flash the underbase, and then we're going to print the gray and white wet on wet, so that way those colors mix together. And it also increases production if you're not having to flash it again. You can flash it if you want, but there's no need to. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save this file. You should always save your work. Actually, let me call this setup. I like to call all of my pre-press documents setup. So that way, if we get a reorder, we can just find the file and just hit print if we need to do more film. Make sure it's an AI file. We're going to go ahead and save that. And one thing I forgot to do that I'm going to go back and do just really quickly. Sometimes these things slip my mind. I'm going to go back and pull all the gray out of their name here. So let me adjust that. I'm going to pull it back until it's gone. Okay, so that will be a more crisp looking font. I'm just going to hit save because we've already saved it, and what's going to happen is Illustrator is going to update it automatically. Look at that. Isn't that smart? Aren't we just a smart program that we pay money for? Okay, now I'm going to go hit Command P, File Print. When you're separating or printing your films, we have AccuRip. And in output, you want to be sure it's set to separations and not composite. Our film size is 13 by 19. And then when you go to output, you'll see that you have your underbase, your gray, and then your white. One of the things I like to do is include my page information, so that way when you do print your films, it will include that information at the top, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And this will burn it into the screen, so that way you know what screen is what, and you'll be able to print that in order, just like you separate your white base, gray, and then your white top. So I'm going to go ahead and send this over to the printer. We'll be right back, and I'll show you it printing out. before I do send it to the printer, let me show you my settings in AccuRip. So we have AccuRip Black Pearl. I'm going to hit Edit Configuration. We have an all black ink system. This is 1440 by 720 DPI. Droplet weight 7. I like to use a round dot. You know, what the hell. We'll use an ellipse this time. And then the angle, I keep it at default 22.5, 45 LPI. We're going to use, again, 230 mesh screens. So that is the setup. Now I'm going to go ahead and print this thing out, and we'll show you how the film comes out. Here are our film separations. You can see that each one of them have their corresponding number along with the name of the ink that needs to be used. And here you can see the little halftones that printed out. So we're going to go ahead and expose this and put it on press. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. In the next video, we'll set everything up on press and show you the final results of the actual prints. If you're in the market for Separation Studio, email me, matt@mikeydesigns.com. I'll leave that in the description. Also, if you're in the market for screen printing supplies or equipment, use our promo code Mikey Designs at catspitscreenprintsupply.com. You'll get $5 off your purchase. Also, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share our videos, go over to our Facebook page, give it a like, follow us on Instagram. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.